Hello my friends! Welcome to Haein Yoga. This class is a part of 4-session series on yoga for low back. It's an all-level Hatha Yoga sequence to strengthen and elongate your lower back. This sequence can be used as a prevention as well as to heal a chronic back pain. It's very important that you focus on strengthening and elongating rather than stretching your lower back. Throughout the sequence, keep your lower back steady and stable by engaging your core and keeping your back long, while we stretch the area around the lower back, but not directly lower back. If you are used to having pain, pain becomes one of the ways to measure whether you feel or not. Pain becomes more known than without pain. My suggestion here is that you become curious and open to different sensations than just pain without trying to get rid of it. Listen to your lower back, not just through pain, but all sensations. Make sure that your intention is to support your lower back with its condition. Without that acceptance, we won't really go anywhere. Let's be alongside with our lower back rather than being on the opposite side, analyzing and trying to find what's wrong with it. Here we go. Let's start in standing position. Come to the front of the mat. Have your feet about hip-wide distance, big toes slightly pointing inwards. Have your hands around your hips and bend your knees just a little bit. We're going to bend forward till your back comes about parallel to the floor. And then let's place the fingertips on the floor. Couple of breaths here. The most important thing that I want you to feel is your back is elongated and engaged. Pull your belly in, press your feet against the floor, squeeze the legs in gently. And also supporting with your arms as well by pushing against the floor. And from here, let's bring the feet a little closer to each other. They don't need to touch each other, but closer than hip-wide distance. And we're going to walk the foot, bending one knee at a time. But again, your back stay straight the whole time. Your belly stay pulled in the whole time. So while we stretch the leg, keeping your low back and your belly, your hips stable and elongated. And now from here, keeping both knees bent so that your back stays strong, belly stay pulled in. We're going to lift up the right leg. So our intention here is actually adding the weight on the back while keeping that elongation and stability, lifting up the back leg to strengthen your back. Keeping that belly pulled in, gaze down but slightly forward so that your upper body stays long. The back knee could stay bent, it could also be straightened, but you want to make sure that you don't start to arch to compensate this weight. Keep that belly pulled in. The bottom leg can have the knee bent. That is really depends on your flexibility. But what's important is that your back stays straight. Collect the back leg to the center and walk, walk, walk. Relax your head while keeping your back straight. And we're going to continue to the other side. Press your right foot against the floor. Lift up your left foot and bring it behind you. Pull the belly in. Press your fingertips against the floor. Stay on your fingertips so that you have a good amount of height, and eventually maybe straightening your back leg. Depends on how much you feel your back can carry the weight while staying in integrity. Pull the belly in. Couple more breaths. Let your bottom leg really carry the weight, as well as your hands, as you keep your belly in, feeling your belly and your back staying long. And with next exhalation, bring it back and walk, walk, walk. Bring your feet apart, having your toes out. Come down all the way to squat position. Coming into Malasana. If your heels does not touch the floor, place something under your heels so that your feet are secure. Bring your feet as much as you want to create an intensity for your hips that you would like. Elbows gently pressing against the inside of your knee or your thigh. Pull the low part of the abdomen in. Gently lift up your sternum, open your chest. Couple more breaths here. One more breath. And coming down into seated position. Have your knees out and the soles of your feet together. Keeping your feet close to your hips. Holding your toes. And let's make this butterfly fly. So I mentioned in the last session the importance of relaxing and stretching the areas around your lower back. So this time we are paying quite some attention around our hips. To connect from the lower part of the body to your lower back so that your lower back does not carry all of the weight. And at the same time, we really want to strengthen the lower back so that the weight does not get cornered in the lower back, but it travels through the lower back. Coming into stillness, inhale, lift up your sternum, and exhale, we fold forward, but keep your head and your chest up so that we really focus on the hips. There is no one point where you would dive down with your head and hunch your back. Don't worry about sternum above. For now, really focusing on belly button down and forward without leaving the floor with your sitting bone, but rather that connection between your sitting bone and the floor becomes stronger as you go forward. And with next inhalation, let's come back up and stretch your legs out to the side. So here we want to be able to sit up with straight back. If that is difficult for you, then just simply bend your knees a little bit. That's okay. Just make sure you keep your feet flexed, not relaxed. Otherwise, as we move in this position, you may feel your joint. So keep your feet flexed, whether your knees are straight or bent, and make sure your back stays upright. Have your hands around your hips, and we're going to make a gentle circle. As you do this, keep your chest and your head up. Try not to round your back. And the other way. And back to the center. Think of bringing your tailbone back and rolling slightly to your inner thigh and coming back to the center. Once again, tailbone pointing up, rolling slightly to your inner thigh and back to the center. One more time, tailbone up, rolling slightly to your inner thigh. We're giving a healthy kind of compression in the sacrum and coming back to the center. Bend your right knee. Walk your left hand to the inside of your left leg. Bend that elbow. Push the hand and the forearm, maybe the elbow, against the inside of your left leg as you bring your right arm up and catch the back of the head. Open your elbow back. Ground your right hip. Now we don't want to go too far. It could be quite strong for your lower back, especially when you come out. So staying fairly up. And with next inhalation, slowly coming back to the center. Turn to your right side, keeping your right knee bent. We're gonna continue with the pigeon pose with your right knee forward. Find the distance that works for you between your front foot and the left hip. Inhale, elongate your spine, and exhale, fold forward. Couple of breaths here. Wherever you are, make sure you stay in your center line rather than leaning to your right hip. That may mean for some of you that your right hip is not touching the floor. That's okay. And with next inhalation, slowly coming back up, turn to your left, back to the center, and we're gonna bend the other knee and straighten your right leg. Walk your right hand inside of your right leg, forearm or the elbow maybe as well, pushing against the inner side of your right leg. With your left hand, catch the back of the head and open your chest. Gently bringing your left elbow back and up, keeping your left sitting bone in touch with the floor. Pull the lower part of the abdomen in, always engaging that area to connect from the lower part of your body to the upper part of your body. One more breath. And slowly coming back to the center. Turn to your left, continuing with pigeon with your left knee bent. Align your back leg. Inhale, elongate your spine. And exhale, fold forward. If you've been following this series so far, notice how you are in your hips and in your lower back this time. It is important that we make an effort to improve and grow, but also if that change, that growth, that improvement is not acknowledged, then for me, I don't find that makes the whole story. So as this is the last one of this series, as we have a couple more postures left, really checking in how you are and noticing if you find any change, difference. Next inhalation, coming back up. Come to crossed leg position. Finish. Not finishing yet, just two more poses. Finding your feet away from your hips. Keeping your hands on top of your knees. Inhale, elongate, right on top of your sitting bones. And exhale, fold forward. Couple more breaths here, keeping your breath steady. And with next inhalation, coming back up, cross to the other side. Inhale, elongate, and exhale, fold. Have a moment to appreciate the steadiness of breath. Through steadiness, the clarity that comes. And through that clarity, a sense of peace. And from that place of peace, a creativity. Passion that rises up. A few more breaths. For now, really focusing on creating stability with your breath, with your hips, with your center. Knowing that from stability, clarity comes, peacefulness comes, and from that place, creativity, passion, all the spark of life that can arise. As you inhale, slowly coming back up. Let's finish with a twist. Comfortable cross-leg position. Have both hands on top of your knees. We're going to make this twist fairly mild. Inhale, elongate your spine. And exhale, twist to your right side. So we are not really using our arms, but just through your centeredness, through your hips, and with your core and your shoulder blades, twisting to the right side. So it's a very active twist. Coming back to the center as you keep this elongation, and exhale to your left. Lift up the sternum, pull the belly in, open the chest to your left, bringing your left shoulder blades close to your spine, widen your collarbone, and coming back to the center. Bring your hands together in a prayer position. Close your eyes and 3 deep breaths. Steady breathing. Thank you for joining me on this video. To finish this class, think of one thing, one simple thing you can do in your everyday life to support your lower back. Comment below. If you like this video, give a thumb up and subscribe to my channel for weekly yoga practice. I wish you a beautiful day and see you soon. Keep shine on.